everyone, how's it going? It's Scott here from CanGeek Games and Collectibles. Welcome to the CanGeek YouTube channel or the CanGeek Facebook page, wherever you're watching this video from. This is episode 11, as fate would have it, the CanGeek Games and Collectibles Fate Accelerated role-playing game using the Fate Accelerated system from Evo Hat Productions. We're coming up on 3 months since we ran our last session. So haven't seen everyone since before Christmas. Hope everyone had a good holiday. We're going to do a very quick recap, and we're going to invite anyone who's following this series to just go back and watch the last episode if you want more detailed information. So, folks, this is where you left off. Last game session, your party escaped from the facility of the Brotherhood of Fate after it was laid siege to by Joseph Uzma's crew. Yourselves and brother Timothy, who appears to be the only remaining survivor of the Brotherhood, made your way to a local hotel where Heinrich let the shit flow, as only Heinrich can, before you were introduced to a woman by the name of Skuld. Your game session ended with your party, along with Timothy and Skuld, making their way back to Heinrich's theater, where you are now held up. I will remind you quickly that both Maya and Pete, you actually earned an extra fate point from last game session as your memory slowly started to come back. So you're each refreshing at 4. Heinrich, you're refreshing at 3. To quickly remind you what those memories were, Pete, you remember now that your friend that hired you to protect this .com billionaire double-crossed you and tried to frame you for his death. This ultimately brought you face to face with this woman that you now know as Skuld, who explained to you that she needed your help to recover a medallion or an amulet that Joseph Uzma could never be allowed to take possession of. Maya, you had a similar memory come back to you, where you were hired by Joseph Uzma to authenticate a medallion in Egypt. When you were presented with the medallion, it looked like a $40 or $50 trinket that you would buy at any jewelry store. It looked fairly modern. However, when you actually did the authentication of it, you determined that the mineral components that made up this pendant were well over 400 years old, and it left you questioning what you were actually holding in your hand. Uzma paid you very substantially for your services, and then sent you on your way after putting you up in a hotel in Egypt for the evening. It's at that hotel where an individual knocked on your door. You now know that individual to be Greg's character, Pete. And Pete explained to you that he had been sent to you by his employer and asked you to meet with his employer being Skuld, and she explained to the two of you that Uzma could never be allowed to take possession of this medallion. However, you ultimately, the 3 of you, concocted some sort of plan to relieve Uzma of this medallion before it ever actually found its way into his possession. But neither yourself nor Pete can remember what that plan was. So as this game session begins, now that yourself, Pete, Heinrich, Timothy, and Skuld are holed up in Heinrich's theater, um, Skuld is attempting to help you recover your missing memories, as she really needs to put her hands on this medallion before Joseph Uzma does. So this is where we're going to begin. Skuld has now concluded that neither yourself nor Pete have any memory after your initial meeting with her, where she explained that she needed your help to prevent Uzma from taking possession of this medallion. She is now attempting to help you recover those missing memories, and she actually is turning to you for help with this, Heinrich. So she looks at you and she says, "Excuse me, doctor, obviously we need to recover these memories. The fate of everything that you hold dear depends on this. Do you have anything in your bag of tricks that could potentially help with this?"
Before I can help with this, I have to know what this is.
Well,
How do you jog a memory if you don't know where the memory is?
well, that is why I'm asking you for your assistance. You are an expert in certain things that no normal medical practitioner would delve into. So, by all means, how do you find a memory that doesn't want to be found?
Assuming it was suppressed, let's say, with some chemical means, I would say I would have something that would work against such an agent. Possibly.
And do you have such a compound that can be utilized?
Or possibly.
Or he can make one.
Possibly. There might be side effects.
Isn't it always?
Yes, I think I may be able to do something, but there may be side effects.
Skuld looks at the two of you and she expresses the urgency in recovering these memories. She even goes so far as to tell you that regardless of the side effects, it is a price worth paying, and asks if you are prepared to undertake this journey.
I promise you it has nothing to do with your gastrointestinal tract. You might break out a little. Just a little.
Again, I must ask both of you. It is imperative that we recover these memories. Uzma cannot be allowed under any circumstances to take possession of my medallion, for he will also take possession of my powers.
There are no lasting terrible side effects. I promise you that there are no terrible side effects.
Okay, well, what are the side effects that are not so terrible? Can you name them?
Sure. There may be in a future time moments where you might go a little blank, but it only happens within the next probably 24 hours because the drug has to run its course through you.
And, doctor, how long will it take for this drug to take effect if administered?
Almost immediately.
So I start remembering immediately, and at some point I might forget everything.
No.
And when I go,
you will remember everything.
Okay. So when I go blank, what does that mean? Expand.
There will only be a short, maybe 5 minutes that you will go blank. Possibly.
And no other side effects whatsoever, however minute they might be?
It's not a side effect.
Or
This will help you remember.
and forget. Or go
Well,
blank.
only for about 5 minutes. You'll lose about 5 minutes somewhere down the line.
Okay.
Or if we're worried about side effects, we could go about this a different way. We could just
You can take it first.
No.
Of course.
And I'll watch.
We could just deal with Uzma. Why does she want her memories back 100%?
So out of game,
Yeah.
the two of you were hired by her in Egypt, where she explained to you that Uzma cannot be allowed to take possession of this medallion. She left it up to you, Pete, to relieve Uzma of that medallion and to return it to her possession. You have no recollection whatsoever of how you did it. And because Uzma doesn't have the medallion and you don't know what you did to relieve him of the medallion, no one knows where the medallion is, and
Okay.
everyone is trying to find it.
Yeah. Yeah, so within, I was going to say within those, I was going to say suppressed memories, there's other stuff we can't remember and everything else.
Exactly.
Oh well, if somebody has to be a guinea pig, I'll do it first.
Okay. All right. So, Pete.
So,
Here you
I
go.
have I've got my industrial Pepto-Bismol.
So, Doctor, we will need 2 doses of this. How long
Sure.
will it take you to manufacture this product?
I may have something already in my case. Let me take a look.
So, hold on, before you do
How
this,
convenient.
I do need to ask, is this case in the room with you and the rest of them? Or do you have to go to another part of your facility to get it?
I thought I took my doctor bag with me in, so.
You took it in, but what I'm trying to establish is, in comparison to where you are in this facility, is the doctor bag in another part of the facility? Because you did bring it with you, but you would have dropped it off when you came in.
No, I would have put it on the desk, or sorry, on the bench where I would always put it. The
Fair
doctor's
enough.
very, very meticulous. He always does the same thing all the time.
Fair enough. Okay, so you're going to go check your bag to see
Yep.
if you have it.
Yes.
Okay. So go check.
Okay. I'll go off.
All right. So, let's talk about this for a minute here, Anthony. So you've gone off to see if you actually have it, okay? Let me just check one thing here quickly.
Doctor starting kit.
Yeah.
I say that should cover just like
What's
Explorer
your,
starting kit.
what is your mental approach? Okay, Anthony, your clever approach is a free, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I would like you to roll your clever, please.
Okay. Clever is 3 plus 1, 4.
Okay. We are going to say that you have 1 dose of this compound. Okay.
Okay.
You do have it within your capability, however, to
Of course,
manufacture.
we're in my lab. I can make
Exactly.
another batch.
So you explain to them that you have 1 dose currently available, and Skuld explains immediately that you need both doses and inquires as to how long it will take you to manufacture the 2nd dose.
About half an hour.
Okay. So she implores you to manufacture the 2nd dose. She needs both of them to
I shall do it
remember.
presently, but you can't rush science and chemistry.
All right, perfect. So Anthony, Heinrich goes off to manufacture the 2nd dose, and
I'm off to cook meth. See you guys.
awesome. So while you are off manufacturing the 2nd dose of this drug, you're pouring chemicals into beakers from test tubes and stirring stuff up and all that stuff. You start to have a memory return to you. Specifically, the memory that starts to return to you, Heinrich, has to do with your involvement in this affair. You already know, and you have kept this from the rest of the group, that you were hired by Uzma.
To make a very good chemical.
Yes, a chemical specifically intended to kill an individual instantaneously and not leave any evidence of its existence. You manufactured it, you met with Uzma, you handed him the needle, he paid you for your services, and sent you on your way. Couple weeks went by, however, before the chemical was actually administered to its intended recipient. And Uzma got in touch with you again and offered you double what he initially paid you, with the understanding that he did not trust any of his paid lackeys to be involved in this particular assassination. He was very insistent that the importance of this not be left up to some tool, and he wanted to know whether or not you would be prepared to get your hands a little more dirty. Instead of strictly creating the compound, he wanted you to be the one to administer it. He assured you that they would put you in a position where your life would not be in jeopardy and that the recipient of this lethal dosage would never see it coming. Now, did you agree to complete this job? Were you prepared to take on the role of an assassin?
I'm prepared to take the money. So, I will say that what I did was I created a compound that would, for all intents and purposes, kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an advanced piece of work that I've been on, that I've been studying for a while. It puts a body in stasis, so that a person doesn't actually die. They just look like they've died.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it puts the body in hibernation. So, of course, for all intents and purposes, from every outside visual source, they will look like they are dead. Of course, if you autopsy them, they'll be dead. But, otherwise...
Well, okay, so the question becomes...
You're evil.
So the question
Evil.
becomes... Yeah.
I have morals.
The question
Somewhere.
is,
Right.
did you actually take the job of delivering it?
Yes.
Okay. So, perfect. So, you remember flying to Egypt. You remember a individual, someone with the last name of Landry. You don't even remember the guy's first name. It really wasn't that important to you. He was no one to you. He was just the person who was there to make sure you accomplished your goal. He hid you in a very posh apartment in a villa in Egypt. And he said, when the time is right, you need to come out and quickly just jab him in the neck with it. Don't worry about the rest. We'll get you out of here. He asked you, how quick does this drug act?
Immediately.
Wonderful. We'll get you out of here. I understand that Mr. Uzma is paying you substantially for this. Wonderful. We'll get you out of here. And he hid you in a closet, some, compartment within the apartment. And you
Wait, you mean I have to come out of the closet? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Apparently.
And you waited till the time was right,
Oh,
until this old Egyptian gentleman had his back turned. And then you snuck up quietly behind him and in the neck. And as a man of your word, it happened exactly the way you said it would happen. A very quick look of shock on the man's face. And then he just slumped over and hit the floor.
If there's someone willing to pay a lot of money to kill somebody, there's someone else who will pay even more money to keep that person alive.
And you
And you get paid twice.
And you stood there and you looked at this individual laying on the floor, and you looked at him with pride because once again, you had accomplished exactly what you said you'd accomplish. Then this Landry guy came back into the room and he said, "Let's get you out of here." And he snuck you out of the compound to a waiting car. And in that car, surprise, surprise, was Joseph Uzma, who handed you a briefcase with double the fee that he had originally paid you to create this drug. And he looked at you and he said, "Doctor, I believe this is the beginning of a fruitful relationship. I believe that based on what I've already heard, I will be requiring your services again soon." Drove you to the airport, and you flew away home. And Anthony, that's Heinrich's memory. You can claim a fate point for that memory.
I am now at 4 fate points.
It has taken you about a half hour to create the second dose of this compound, and in that time, this memory has come flooding back to you. And the one thought that keeps going through your mind is you're putting this this drug in these needles for Maya and Pete. I wonder what would happen if they ever realized the truth. I mean, right now, this Skuld woman, if she is what she claims to be, she's powerless. This Timothy guy, he's a pushover. How can you be an executive assistant and not even know the password to your own compound security cameras? How incredibly incompetent can you be at your job? Pete, he's still suffering the effects of a butt gun to the head. And this Maya woman, couldn't put up a fight to save her life. And you're looking at these needles in your hand and you're questioning, I know what I told them. But I also know that if the truth ever came to light, it could make things far more difficult for me.
But they'd be a lot more fun.
Should I allow this to play out now? Or should I end this charade?
Silly.
And
No.
let Uzma deal with finding this trinket on his own. The decision is yours.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. So, now that I have a moment, okay, so you know what? I'll be honest. That one dose I already had in in my kit bag. I'll leave it there for now. I have enough. I've made enough for 2 doses. Well, 3 really, but I've made enough for 2 doses so that we can keep things nice and clean and keep everything consistent. Because again, I don't know how long that old syringe has been in there. With the old vial has been in my kit bag. I do know it works, but a fresh batch never hurts anybody. So so the current fresh batch, I'm just gonna vial it up. Get the thing, nice and working. Okay, so Maya, Pete, I do believe that we have a volunteer. That would be Pete, right?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Well, the side effects aren't so bad right now. You won't blank out at all, so you'll be okay. Are you sure you want to take a dose of this?
Yes.
Okay. Then I shall, come over, get the alcohol swab. No pain, no muss, no fuss. Little tiny bit of blood, but, there you go. And let's see. Now that it's in your system, let's see. Your 6-foot change. It should hit you right about now.
Perfect. So, Pete.
Roll a sanity check.
Nope.
No, you're fine.
You are going to earn
This counter agent should work perfectly.
Yep, you're going to earn a fate point for the memory that is about to come flooding back to you. However, you're going to need some aspirin in a minute because it's going to hit you in the head like a sledgehammer. You remember...
Not one of my side effects. That's his own fault.
You remember almost instantaneously the events that transpired after yourself and Skuld initially met with Maya. Maya agreed to help the two of you reclaim this medallion from Uzma. You assured Skuld not to worry, that reclaiming the medallion would not be a problem for you. Your problem was going to be in getting it out of Egypt after you reclaimed the medallion. You had a very clear and concise understanding of where this medallion was being stored. This medallion was being stored at an off-site facility that belonged to Uzma, a storage facility within Egypt. Just near the airport, fortunately enough for you. You made arrangements with Maya under Skuld's direction to meet her at the airport the next morning, with the understanding that when you met there, you would hand her the medallion and it would be Maya's responsibility to return the medallion to Skuld once you got back to North American soil. Skuld left the nuts and bolts of this operation up to the two of you to sort out, and she, under escort of members of her personal entourage from the Brotherhood of Fate, left Egypt that same evening. You, Pete, became a one-man wrecking crew. You knew there was no one you could trust in Egypt to help you accomplish your goals. More so because thanks to Michael Landry, you'd already burned all of your friendships and assets in Egypt. How could one of your longest friends ever frame you for murder? And it wasn't bad enough that he'd poisoned him. He put 2 in his chest for, good luck. So, you made your way to this facility. Using your extensive training, you took out the guards on the external fence line. You went over the fence. You had a very clear understanding of where this trinket that Skuld had required you to retrieve for her was going to be stored. It was going to be stored, unfortunately for you, within the center of this compound. Like a would-be ninja, you made your way through the compound, only taking out those that you needed to take out. You tried your best to ensure that no one would ever know you had been there. And you almost succeeded. You made it all the way to the storage locker that this metallic briefcase had been stored in. You were in the midst of cracking this locker open when the alarms began to sound. Should have brought more body bags with you. Now your job was simple. It was no longer a mission of espionage. It was no longer about stealth. It was about getting out of there as quickly as possible. You succeeded. By the time you got out of there, your hands were more than bloody. You left a body trail behind you. The next morning, however, when you got to the airport to meet Maya to hand off the suitcase to her, Uzma had men at the airport waiting. You had no idea how you were going to get by them. Your cover had been blown. Somehow they knew it was you. You never went into the airport with the briefcase. You do, however, remember meeting Maya on her way into the airport. Uzma's men had dropped her off, and Uzma was right not to trust his men to do their jobs properly. They didn't walk her into the airport. They dumped her at the curb, and they drove away. On her way into the airport, you flagged Maya down. Flagging her down may not be the operative term to describe what you did. You grabbed her by the arm and you dragged her to one side. The last thing you remember is pushing this briefcase at her, looking over your shoulder and saying, "It's your responsibility now. I'm burned in Egypt and I have to get out of here." And then you ran. Take a fate point for that memory. You're up to 5. Maya.
Yep.
So you don't know exactly what Pete just remembered, but he doesn't look very happy with what he just remembered.
Okay, so Pete, are you having a memory? Are you going to share at this point?
It's going to
What
say,
do you
well,
remember? Tell.
it's going to say, Scott, I share the whole memories.
Yep. So he tells you. Pete,
Wow.
Pete, question for you. Where does your shame in this memory lie? Does it lie in the blood on your hands from Uzma's men? Or does it lie in the fact that you pushed the briefcase at Maya and ran?
It's going to say probably that I pushed the briefcase.
Okay, fair enough. So
Hmm.
he explains it to you. He tells you what he remembers. Skuld sits there. She looks at him. She looks at you and she says, "So, Doctor, you did have the briefcase. It becomes even more important now that you tell us where it is."
Well, 2 things. Pete, how are you feeling
Good,
after
good.
taking that shot? Well, I guess maybe it's my turn to take that shot and see if I remember, because I'm still a blank. I don't know. I have no idea what I did with it. If I got out of the country with it or just by myself. Here's my arm.
Okay. Well, I can promise
Begrudgingly.
you there will be no explosive diarrhea. You know,
Thank you.
as I told Pete, the side effects are negligible. You don't have to worry about them. And yeah, so if you would like a shot and you would like to have your memory, clean from this apparent, agent, this should help.
All right.
Okay. So again, alcohol. Teet, 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 teet. And given your mass and weight, it should hit you
Now?
about now. Yeah.
Okay. So Maya,
Hmm.
you will claim a fate point for this memory, which will take you to 5 in 1 minute. Heinrich is a man of his word. No sooner did he hit you with that needle than it was like the veil of fog over you had been lifted. You remembered everything. You remembered meeting Skuld for the first time. You remembered when Pete Gallagher banged on your hotel door and asked you to speak with her. You remember her explaining to you that Uzma must never be allowed to take possession of her powers, thereby he must never be allowed to take possession of that medallion. You remember the three of you concocting a plan whereby Pete would somehow obtain the package that this medallion was stored in, and it would be your responsibility to get it out of Egypt the next morning. You weren't for asking questions because frankly you knew you didn't want the answers to those questions. You remember the next morning riding to the airport in Egypt with two of Uzma's men in the front seat of a car.
Mm-hmm.
You got to the airport. They looked at you. They said, "Get out." More important things to do than play taxi driver for the likes of you. Just get
Mm-hmm.
out. You got out of the car. You could barely grab your luggage before the car sped away. You turned around to walk into the airport. You didn't even make it to the front door when someone grabbed you from the side and yanked you to one side. As you spun around, you saw a panicked Pete Gallagher standing there. He looked at you. He said, "I'm burned in Egypt." He thrust a metal suitcase, a briefcase, into your arms. He said, "It's your responsibility now." And he turned around and he bolted. You were left holding this briefcase in your hand. You turned around and suddenly you felt like the weight of the world had just been dropped on you. As you turned around and picked up your luggage and began to walk into the airport, you began to feel like the eyes of everyone in that airport were focused firmly on you. This briefcase in your right hand felt very heavy. It felt heavier than your luggage. You were far more aware of this briefcase in your hand than you were of anything else. Every time you turned around and stopped and looked, you were certain that there were people staring at you. You felt very ill at ease. And then you realized you had to get through the gate with this. You had to get it onto the plane. What were you going to do if you were questioned about it? What would Uzma do to you if he found it in your possession? You started to feel very uncomfortable. You turned around, you looked for answers, and an answer immediately presented itself. In one corner of the terminal, the airport terminal, you saw a courier station for people who wanted to courier product home. People who bought items that they weren't prepared to take on the plane. You made your way to the desk of that courier. You looked over your shoulder very self-consciously. You put the suitcase on the counter and you said, "I need to send this back to my home city." They offered you your options for getting it there. You said, "How long is it going to take with regular shipping?" How many days did they tell you?
5 days. So it's going from Egypt to, I don't know, where are we going again? US?
Wherever, doesn't matter. Pick somewhere in North America.
Anywhere USA.
Okay,
Okay. How long is it? How long
go
is it?
figure.
5 days, you said?
Wow, that's fast.
You
2 weeks then, at least
yeah,
2 to 3 weeks.
yeah, but you knew that was
I
too
want it
long.
faster. Yes, I want it faster.
You knew it had to be there within 3 days.
DHL, baby.
Yeah. You picked the most expedited service you could think of to get it out of Egypt and out of your possession. 72 hours.
Okay.
The money wasn't even an issue. You didn't care how much it was going to cost because knowing what you knew now, it was Uzma that was paying for the shipping anyways. So,
Right.
3 days. You took a claim ticket. You rammed it into your pocket. You got on that plane and you flew home.
Mm.
This was 72 hours ago. You now realize that this package is supposed to be arriving at some point today. And that you need to take a trip to the airport, to the courier company's claim desk at the airport to claim your package.
It also requires me that I find that claim ticket that's supposedly in my
That's right.
pocket.
That's right.
Uh, okay, so I'm gonna assume that I'm still wearing the same coat, running around in the same coat that I
Well,
flew in.
I will tell you that you now remember that when you got on the plane, you were paranoid of losing that claim ticket. So you put that claim ticket in the one place that you could think of that you knew you would never lose it out of. So on the plane, you took it out of your pocket. You opened your purse. You took the cheap plastic airplane cutlery. And you took the knife and you cut a small slit into the lining of your purse. And then you hid it right in the lining of your purse. The claim ticket is still with you. All you have to do is go dig into the lining of your purse.
Okay, if you say so.
So that's your memory. Claim your fate
Fake
point.
point. Got it. I have 5 now. Yay!
All right. So
Sorry.
so Skuld looks at you and she says, "Doctor, where's my medallion?"
At the airport. Let's go get it.
Excuse me. At the airport.
With the courier service at the airport. That's what it was. Now I remember.
All right. Skuld looks at Timothy. She says, "Brother, it is time to make those arrangements." Doctor, my friend here needs to call in some reinforcements to assist us. Is there a phone he can use?
Burner phones are expensive.
I assure you, by the time this is all over with, money will not be your concern.
I'm not going to die for you.
I can send him down the street to a payphone.
Payphone is around the corner. Right in front of the theater.
Timothy? Timothy excludes himself and he leaves. He's gone for about 20 minutes. He comes back into the facility the way you directed him to return. He comes in, he looks at Skuld, and he says, "Goddess, the arrangements have been made." She looks at the...
And this is the incompetent guy who couldn't do Jack Diddley?
She looks at the three of you and she says, "And I believe it is time for us to reclaim this medallion." So, folks, your next stop is the airport, where Maya needs to go and reclaim this from the courier desk. Do you need to make any arrangements or do anything before we make our way there?
Well, I'm going to load up my kit bag again because I've used up some supplies. Some of that super soldier serum. I mean, seriously.
Sure. That's fine.
After all, it works, right? Hell, it can make good old little Timothy there, just as effective as Pete there, So
Okay, that's fine.
there are just some side effects, but that's okay.
So, you load up.
Okay.
Pete, Maya, is there anything you need to do before you head to the airport?
Nope. Let's go.
Just go digging for that ticket,
Okay, so
just
you
for
go.
my own comfort.
That's
See it
fine.
in my hand.
You go digging through the lining of your purse. 2 fingers in there, digging around. You're not sure you can find it. It takes a couple minutes, and then one finger catches what feels like the corner of a piece of paper. When you rammed it in there, you really rammed it in there. So you fish it out, and there it is. You have your claim ticket from the courier company. And yeah, you look at it, and you realize that yes, this is the third day, but it's already arrived. It arrived hours ago.
Probably the day before, but let's not go there. All right, everyone
Anyway,
in
let's
the
go.
car.
So,
Let's go.
y'all load into the car.
Yep,
It's
road trip.
It's yourself, Heinrich, Pete, Skuld, and Timothy. Takes
Is there
you
enough
about.
room for all of us?
Oh yeah.
Big
It's an
SUV.
it's
good.
it's an SUV. You're good.
Okay, sure. Hmm.
You make your way to the airport. How long is it going to take you to get there from Heinrich's place?
We're downtown. Let's say 40 minutes by booking it.
Okay, 40 minutes by booking it. Okay. On the way to the airport, it's time to formulate a plan. Now, obviously, you can't just pull up in front of the airport. You are going to have to park some distance away because, frankly, pulling up in front of the terminal is strictly for dropping off passengers. So, you're
We
going
can
to.
drop off
Yeah.
Maya, have her go to the desk, and then we just make a big loop around, come back to the arrivals, have her come in, hop back in the vehicle, we go.
Okay. So,
Unless, of course, we want to change that up and have instead of just having Maya go alone, because that's dangerous. I can go along. Pete, he can drive, or Pete can go along and I can drive, or
Actually, you know what? I'll go along with her and just kind of stay in the background, keep an eye on her.
So as you are
Yeah, that's better.
both debating this, Timothy steps up and says, "I would be willing to go in with the doctor."
yeah, Timmy. No, we don't trust you.
Yeah, I can go into me. No worries.
As you
But here's my problem that I can think of. From what you've relayed, like there are images of you booking it out of the Egypt airport, which might look a little dodgy. So,
Or do you want to go in, Doctor?
I guess that might be a better idea if I go in and back up, Maya, because
okay, so
just
why
in
don't we
case.
do that? Then I can stay in.
so
Yeah.
Stay in this.
who's driving this vehicle to the airport?
Actually, do you know what? I can
but,
drive.
yeah, Pete can drive.
Yeah. So we figured this kind of out beforehand.
That's fine. So you
The
figured
doctor
it
brought
out.
up a good.
So you figured it out beforehand. It's been 48 hours since you sustained that concussion. You feel that you are safe to drive a motor vehicle with that concussion?
Well, I can give him something to perk him up.
Oh yeah.
Like the first time?
That's between
It's got a case of the new Rockstar in the back.
All
Well-
right. So to be clear, then Pete is driving the vehicle. Is that what we're saying?
Well, how about I can give Pete something You know, I mean, that super serum was version A. I think I got a version B without as bad an explosive side effect.
Or do you just want to drive to the airport? Then we'll do the switch. Right there.
I'll drive to the airport, do the switch.
Yeah.
That way
Yeah,
it's
let's do
safer.
that.
Okay, that's fine. So,
Yes.
You want to avoid that super serum, don't you? Like, seriously.
okay,
I wonder why.
so
Really.
It worked.
It takes you due to congestion and
Mm.
traffic delays almost 55 minutes to get to the airport.
Well, we don't
When,
want to break any laws.
oh no, not at all. When,
Very
when you
conscientious, huh?
when you get there, you do exactly what you say you were going to do. So Maya and Heinrich get out of the car and you guys make your way into the airport. Pete gets back into the car's driver's seat with the understanding that he now has to loop around the airport to pull back in. We are going to say that that loop around, barring any unexpected delays, is going to take between 10 and 12 minutes to do because he has to pull out of the drop off, drive all the way out, and come back in. So, you guys go into the airport. Pete's now behind the wheel. Timothy and Skuld have stayed in the car with Pete. Maya, you're going into the airport with Heinrich. You find the claims desk for your package. After a brief wait in line, you walk up to the counter. You put your claim ticket on the counter. The representative looks at it. She says, "Just a minute, please. I'll go get your package." She then leaves the front desk. She's gone for 2 to 3 minutes. She comes back out. She taps something into her computer. You hear her go, "Oh, that's strange. Give me 1 more minute." And she disappears from the front desk again. All totaled, she has come and gone from that front desk twice before she resurfaces with what you recognize as the briefcase that you shipped home. Your time at this counter has taken almost 11 minutes. You're looking at the clock, you're starting to feel very self-conscious, and you're fully aware that Pete, Skuld, and Timothy have probably drove around the airport at least once by this point, waiting for you. The representative takes the suitcase. She drops it on the counter. She says, "Miss, please sign for your package." Do you sign?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how the only way I can get it.
She looks at you. She says, "Thank you for using our services. Have a lovely day."
Thank you.
Okay.
So I take the package and, well, walk
So
fast.
you turn around, yep, and you make your way away from the desk. Pete and Maya, I would like each of you to give.
Why Pete?
Sorry,
Heinrich is the one with me.
that's right.
Yeah,
Heinrich and
Heinrich.
Maya, pardon me. Heinrich and Maya, I would like
Mm-hmm.
each of you to give me a quick row, please.
Quick roll. Let's see. Where's my quick? Oh, great.
Ooh. Okay. I'm a min- I'm a. Let me see. Let me check my quick. I think my quick is 2.
Okay, I'm at 2 with the roll for my quick.
Yeah, my quick is a 2, so it's I've got a -1, so I'm a quick 1.
Okay. So you pick up the suitcase and you proceed to make your way towards the exit of the airport. Okay? You get to the front sliding doors that will take you back out to visitors drop off. The doors open, and they open just in time for you to see Pete pull back up with the car. "Pete, Let's talk about your drive around the airport. It took you about 11 minutes, which is more or less what we suspected to drive around the airport. In the time that you were driving around the airport, Timothy is sitting in the back seat, and about midway around the airport, you hear Timothy start to complain that something doesn't feel right. He's got a bad feeling about this. Pete, give me a quick roll, please.
Okay. Three. Roll
Okay.
0 and +3.
Okay, perfect. So at one point, midway around the airport, you look in the rear view mirror and you're almost certain that you have picked up a tail. Now, you start to feel a little more anxious about this, but just before you pull back into the terminal to pick up Maya and Heinrich, the vehicle that you thought was tailing you pulls off to a different road and drives away. So, Heinrich and Maya, Pete has just pulled back up in front of the terminal as you are exiting. Okay. Now's your opportunity to get in the car.
What are you shaking your head for?
That's a bad idea.
Heinrich,
Take a look around. Do I smell a rat?
Well, you
was
look
that
around.
easy?
You look around, and initially all you see is people coming and going as they enter and exit the airport. Heinrich, give me a careful roll.
That's the worst thing I can do. Okay. All right. Careful. Oh, -1.
At one point, you felt like something wasn't right here, but as you're looking around, you don't see anything that seems out of place to you, just travelers coming and going with their luggage.
You know what, Maya? Let me give you my
Yes.
doctor bag, and let me take the briefcase, and
All
let's go in
right.
opposite directions. I want to see what happens. I think we've been made, but I can't see anything. I just got a gut feeling. Because they know you
Okay.
signed for it. She went into the back twice.
Okay, so do you guys do this?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Okay, let's
Okay.
be very. So I need to know something. You have already exited the airport. Okay, you're standing in the passenger pickup area outside the airport.
Yeah, let's hide behind the where they have the luggage carts,
Yeah,
so they can't see our hands.
So Pete's right in front of you with Skuld and Timothy in the car. And now you guys have switched up bags and you're going in opposite directions.
Yep.
So,
And okay, so Maya,
Yes.
do you remember the mansion? Go to the mansion. Tell Pete I will meet you at the mansion. I'm gonna go jump in a cab right now, and we'll go that way separately. That way, it's actually, you know what? Better yet, go to the car where Pete is. Give him my doctor's bag. Tell him that you need to go to the mansion.
Sure,
You
man.
come back, hop a cab, take another vehicle to go to the mansion. I will go to the mansion directly from here.
you mean what's left of the mansion? Remember, you more or less.
Blew
Well,
it.
no, the mansion is still there. It's just, it's probably got police tape everywhere.
All right, so let's be very clear on this. You are going in one direction, Maya's going in the other direction with your doctor's bag, and you are saying that you want Maya to tell Pete to go to the mansion.
Yes, and then Maya hops into another vehicle and goes to the mansion.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
then Heinrich is
So
taking yet
2
another
cabs.
vehicle.
Yes, 2 cabs.
And Pete.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
And if you spot a tail, then the best thing to do is probably go from, go to go to my theater. Enter the code I'm going to give you and go inside. But,
Okay.
Okay, so the theater, not the mansion. All right.
no. Go to the mansion. But if you see a tail, go to the theater.
Ah, okay. Got it. So
All
what's the
right.
code?
Okay. So you guys switch.
1337.
Okay.
1337.
So
Okay.
you guys switch bags and you proceed to walk in opposite directions. Okay. Now, Pete, you're sitting in the car. You see Heinrich and Maya exit the doors of the airport that you're now parked in front of. They stop dead in front of you for a minute. Suddenly they switch bags. So now Heinrich is holding this metallic briefcase. Heinrich goes in one direction. Maya starts to walk towards the car. Okay?
Okay.
Towards where you're parked right now. I need you to give me a quick row, Pete.
2.
Okay. As Maya is walking towards the car, you get the faintest of impressions that something isn't kosher here. Now, Maya comes up to the car to tell you something. Meanwhile, Heinrich is headed in a completely different direction with the briefcase, and something just doesn't seem right to you. Heinrich, Maya, do you have something you need to say to Pete?
Yes. So, Pete, here's Heinrich's bag. You're going to head out to the mansion. If you pick up a tail, you need to go to the theater instead. I'm going in a separate cab, and so is Heinrich with the
So what did
cakes.
Heinrich see? Obviously, he spotted something here.
I'm not 100% sure, but he thinks we're being tailed.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed anyone, but I will trust his instinct in this case.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, I trust it. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so and here's the code for the theater if you need it.
Oh,
1337.
7. Yes, no, I remember that. And I'm whispering, by the way, so no one outside of the car would have heard me. But anyway,
Sitting
if
in
you
the
have a
back,
tail, you have a tail.
sitting in the back of the car, you hear Timothy. Oh my God, what's going on?
Relax,
calm
Timothy.
down.
Got it under control.
This isn't. Oh my God, what's going on? Skuld looks at Timothy and says, "Hush, child.
Relax.
It is as the fates will it. All of this is as we will it." Okay, Heinrich.
Yep.
You're making your way down the terminal or down the pickup area of the terminal to grab a cab. I need you to give me a quick row, please.
0.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to continue walking. The closest cab is about 50 feet down from you. Give me another quick row, please.
3.
Okay. You keep walking. Okay. You're now about 15 feet away from the cab that you have your eye on. Give me one more quick row, please.
-1.
Okay. Before you can make it to that cab, something goes whizzing by you. and you stop dead in your tracks as you realize that something just blew out the back window of the cab that you were walking towards with that briefcase. Pete, you're in the car. You were about to pull out of this airport terminal. Give me a quick row as you start to pull out of the parking spot you're parked in, please.
Oh, shit. 1.
Okay. Cars pulling out from the curb. You start to pull into traffic. You're about 30 seconds into the congested traffic trying to exit from this terminal. Give me another quick row, please.
A 4.
Perfect. Pete, as you are pulling out, you're now stuck in traffic. You happen to look to your left, back towards the sidewalk in front of the terminal, and you immediately see someone that you recognize, and there is absolutely no doubt in who this person is. It is Michael Landry. You see him reach into his vest pocket inside his coat. Out comes a gun. He points it directly in Heinrich's direction, and he pulls the trigger. You look just in time to see him blow out a window in a cab that Heinrich is walking towards. Maya, give me a quick row, please. You're walking in an opposite direction for a cab.
Right. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Where's my 0?
Okay. The way the airport pickup terminal is set up, okay, you've got the airport itself, you've got cars parked in the center where people are dropping off and picking up passengers. At one end, you have a cab pickup stand, and then if you go in completely the opposite direction, another 50 feet, you have another cab pickup stand. You and Heinrich switched bags and went in opposite directions, okay? Now, you've made it about 10 feet. You're walking another 15 feet. Give me another quick row, please.
Okay. So I'm at 1 for quick, but I do have a question here. One of my stunts on my character sheet is survival of the fittest. I get +2 in quickly evading situation that threatens my survival. So
You're asking
do I get to claim this?
that? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, then that makes me a 3
Perfect.
in
So
this case.
you made it about 25 feet after ditching Heinrich's doctor's bag in the car. You're walking towards the cabs, and then you hear bang, smash! You spin around over your shoulder just in time to see someone take a shot at what appears to be the back of Heinrich's head with a gun. Okay? As you also spin around, you realize that there are two people that don't seem quite right to you, and they are both headed directly towards you. As soon as that gunshot goes off, these two individuals quickly reach into their coats. What do you do?
I run like heck towards the nearest cab, jump in and tell them to drive
Okay.
now,
So, absolutely.
and duck into the back seat.
Oh, okay, absolutely. You make a run for the cab. So, here's what I need you to do. You have another 25 feet to get to the closest cab. I need you to give me 2 quick rows on your way to that cab. And yes,
Okay, and
you can include your stunt.
Okay, my +2 in for each roll. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Let's see. That's minus. So I'm at a 2 for the first roll, including my stunt roll, my stunt whatever.
Okay.
And awesome, the last one I'm at 5.
Okay. So you get into the cab. Okay. You scream at the cab, drive, drive, drive. Now, here's what I need you to do. I need
Yeah.
you need to give me a forceful row.
Oh, hold on.
You are rowing, just so you know, on behalf of the cab driver. Okay? And you do not get to include your stunt on this row.
Okay. Forceful. So my forceful is 1. I roll, and it is, holy moly, it's a -2.
Okay, you jump into the back of this cabin. You scream, "Go, go, go!" And before you scream that the third time, the driver's head explodes. The
Ooh.
two people that are following you that you saw reach into your coat, they don't care about collateral damage. They are here and they mean business. And when you dived into that cab, they didn't decide to shoot at you. They shot at the driver and they blew his head off.
Ah,
So, Heinrich, let's talk about you. You made it to this cab. You were about to get in. And then suddenly something goes whizzing by your head and shatters the back window of the cab you were headed towards. The cab driver takes one quick look over his shoulder, realizes what just happened, and didn't give two shits about what happened next. He hit that gas pedal while he spun the wheel. He took out the right-hand side of his cab as he rear-ended the person parked in front of him, and then he took off, half-wrecked vehicle and all.
Okay.
So, what's your next play?
The cab that's just behind it, which I should be like right up against, right?
Well, you're about 10 feet from it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to invoke my stunt, which is the stance of the cowardly run.
Sure.
I'm diving in the front seat and like just,
Okay.
we're
And
going.
what is your stance linked to? Which attribute?
Normally it's clever, but
Clever?
yeah.
That's, hey, we'll call it clever. So, here's what I need you to do. I need you to give me a clever row. You are rowing on behalf of the driver in that cab.
Okay. Clever roll
Yep.
is clever +2. 5.
Okay. 5. Okay. You jump into the cab's front seat. What is your next move now that you're into the front seat?
Well, I'm effectively like almost face down, in the driver's lap here. I'm just gonna like hammer the accelerator.
Now, you jumped in, you caught the driver off guard. He goes, "Oh, happy hour!"
Only if you pay double. I'll pay you triple if you drive.
Okay, so in reality, you jump into the front seat of the cab.
Yes.
You totally catch this guy off guard when you do it because he's aware of what's going on because this is all playing out simultaneously, okay? Suddenly he hears a gunshot. He has someone lunge into the front of the cab seat and damn near plant their face in his crotch as he screams, "Drive, drive, drive." It totally catches this guy off guard. His foot hits that gas pedal, okay? Now, what I need you to do is I need you to give me we're going to call it a quick row. Your stunt doesn't apply here. You are rowing on behalf of the driver.
Quick +2.
Okay?
So it's 3.
3. Perfect. Okay. So he drove. He didn't turn that wheel fast enough, and he rear-ended the guy directly in front of him.
There was no one in front of him.
There's
The guy in
multiple-
front of him took off already.
No, the guy.
That's right.
The guy behind him took off. That's the one that had his window blown out.
No, cabs are lined up the opposite way.
Yes, they're lined up like this. One.
Yeah,
in
first cab here. The first
Okay.
cab booked it.
I will give you the ability to invoke this as an aspect because this is all playing out at once. So if you want to say there was no one in front of him, spend the fate.
Well, there can't be because the guy who was in front of him was the guy who booked it and like wrecked half his car.
You're coming up from behind them.
Yes.
That's right. So if you're coming up from behind them,
No, I'm not taking. You never take the last cab. It's a queuing system.
Dude,
At
You always
airports,
take
it's a
the first
queuing
one.
system.
exactly. Except in
The
this
guy at the
particular-
front is the one that you go to, and of course, once that guy goes, the next one comes up, and you hop on that one.
Heinrich, you think that you're being tailed. Are you going to worry what cab you jump into, or are you going to jump into the first one you can get to?
Fine, whatever, go.
Do you want to invoke the aspect and say there was no
I'm-
one in front of him?
I am saving my friggin' fate points, man. I've only got 4.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Fine, we rear end the guy in front of us.
Fine, you rear end the guy in front of you. We'll come back to that. Pete, so, you saw Michael Landry exit the airport. You saw him reach into his coat pocket, and you saw him draw one whopping gun. He took a shot at Heinrich, or at least you thought he took a shot at Heinrich. You suddenly look down and you realize he didn't aim for the back of Heinrich's head, because you know this guy and you know if he'd aimed for Heinrich's head, Heinrich would be dead. Okay? He shot out the window of a cab that Heinrich was approaching. What are you doing at this point?
I was going to say at this point, I was going to say what's his name's around. Sorry, Pete. No, I mean if Landry's around, I'm going to assume he has other people with him as well. I will think that Heinrich will be able to get him out of the himself out of the situation, and we're going to go regroup. We were going to go to the mansion first.
That's what Maya told you.
Okay. Okay, so that's where I'm going. I
Okay.
was going to say Heinrich's pretty capable, so
Okay.
assume
So,
that he can.
so you're gonna try and pull out of this parking spot.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna try and book it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So you pull out of this parking spot and you hit the gas. You're not worried about what happens here. You're worried about getting out because you feel that both Heinrich and Maya are capable of taking care of themselves. So as you start to accelerate, you see Heinrich make a run for another cab and lunge into the front passenger seat of the cab. Immediately, that cab accelerates forward and clips the cab directly in front of him. Okay? I need you to give me a careful roll, please, Pete.
Oh, careful. 0.
Okay. This cab that Heinrich's in, when it went to accelerate forward, and the driver basically did this. You see this cab lunge forward and almost try to make a turn out into traffic before it clips the back left-hand corner of the vehicle in front of it. You didn't have time to stop. You actually clip the cab that Heinrich is in on the front driver's hand side. So now between the vehicle that was in front of Heinrich's cab and you've basically turned this cab into a sandwich. Okay? Heinrich,
Yeah.
You're in this cab. Suddenly you feel another boom, a jolt. Okay? And suddenly the entire cab shifts to the right a little. And
Scott, I just had a question for a sec.
yeah.
A quick step, because I was driving, and with my combat driving, would I have rolled a quick roll instead of a careful roll, or
We're
not?
calling
It's
it,
totally up to you.
Well, we're only calling it a careful because in the height of all of this, you would have to be careful with what was going on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, Heinrich,
Sorry.
you're not injured. The cab is crushed, at least on one side. Pete, the SUV's in force, so the SUV really didn't take any damage. You can throw that bitch into reverse and pull out, like back up and, try and move forward again. Heinrich,
Mm-hmm.
this cab you're in isn't going anywhere. Your choices are you scurry across the driver and try and get out on his side somehow, or you back ass it out the driver or the passenger's hand side of the vehicle. What are you going to do? You're going to back out. Okay. Give me a quick roll, please.
Again?
Yep.
Oh. +2. 3.
Perfect. You ass out of that cab. You stand up quickly with this briefcase, and you see Pete parked on the opposite side of the cab. He's just turned this cab into a hero sandwich. Your choices now are simple. You can make a run down the pickup sidewalk and try and find another exit, or you can lunge across this cab and dive into your SUV.
I'm probably waving at it.
No, run forward, see if you can get another vehicle.
Okay.
Ahead of this cab sandwich.
Ahead of this cab sandwich, okay. Maya, so
Yes.
let's talk about where you're at. The cab you're in at the opposite end has these two gunmen that just blew the head off of the cab driver you're in. Your choices are to ass out back onto the sidewalk, which is going to bring you face to face with these two guys with guns, or try and make a run out the back seat of the driver's side and try and get out of there. Where are you headed?
What if I get out of the car from the passenger door at the driver's side, open the driver door, yank the driver in onto the road, get in the seat and floor
Drive.
it. Get in the drive.
Okay.
Drive. Get in the driver. I have a vehicle. I need to drive.
Yes, you do. You're right. So my question is, do you want to run the inherent risk of doing that with two individuals with guns that have already blown the driver's head off? So they're within range of taking a shot at you now. Or do you want to make a run for it? It is totally up to you.
How tall was the driver? The cab driver that just got clipped or killed, whatever.
I'd say he's average size.
What's that?
5'7", 5'9".
Does it matter? He's a sack of meat right now. You just
Yes,
open the
yes,
driver's
it
side door,
does.
yank the sack of meat, and go.
Yes, well that's the point. I am short person, so chances are I'll be hidden behind the seat anyway. They won't be able
Oh,
to
so you
get
want
me
him
from
as a
the
meat
back.
shield?
So
Yes.
okay, so look, here's the
Let's
simple,
go.
here's the simple truth. We'll call him 5'7". We'll call him 155 pounds.
Oh jeez. I'm sure I can muster the strength to do it.
Fine. That's what you're gonna do.
Hysterical strength.
Yep.
Muster the hysterical strength.
So that's what you're gonna do. Okay. So you dive
Well, that's
out.
the adrenaline rush. Come on,
Okay.
kind of like when I jumped out of the window in your mansion
Okay. So let's do
and I
this.
scaled the wall.
Okay. So
Not my fault you climbed out the window.
guys, let's do this then. So Maya.
Okay, yes.
Jump out of the driver's back seat on the driver's side. You whip around to the front door of the cab. You rip it open. You grab this sloppy sack of meat that's in the front seat, and you give it a tug to try and get it out of the seat. Okay. Two things.
Mhm.
First of all, you need to undo the seatbelt. Okay? So you're going to give me a quick row here.
Most of these drivers will not have the seatbelt on until they start the vehicle.
Oh, congratulations. You got Mr. Safety. You have to undo the seatbelt. Give me a quick row.
Okay, so I'm using my stunt again.
That's fine.
The points I get.
Yep. No,
Whoops.
that's fine. Use your stunt.
Okay, so let's see this. It's 1 minus. So that puts me at 4. 1,
Perfect.
3.
Zip.
Yeah, 4.
Zip goes the seatbelt. Give me one more quick row.
One more quick roll. Come on. Ow. Okay. I've got a 7.
Fantastic. You
Wow, it's like
Wow!
you
it's
you
like something
you
else.
you don't
I
just
know.
you don't just exceed. You exceed with flashy style. You basically this 4 foot something little woman grabs
It's
this.
I'm 5'5", by the way.
Okay,
If
whatever.
you look at my character sheet.
You're congratulations. You're 5'5". It doesn't matter here, Hercules. You grab this. You you
It's adrenaline. That's what.
you grab this sloppy, bloody sack of meat. You almost lift him over your head as you take him and you toss him across the parking lot, and you dive
That's
into this.
sorry.
Yeah,
Wait! Roll for it to see if you'll like throw him at the gunman.
No, I'm
You
not gonna go that far. I just want to
oh,
get out of there.
that's fine. So you exceed with style. Congratulations. So you dive into this car, yeah, flip the ignition, and you're on the go. So here's what I need you to do.
Right.
I need you to give me 2 quick rows.
What am I rolling for?
You're rowing for the shots that these 2 drivers are now or these 2 gunmen are now going to try
Okay.
and take at this cab before you can pull away. You're pulling out, they're opening fire.
Okay. So my first roll is a 2.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Before you say anything else, your row is a 2. Is that with your stunt or is that without your stunt? Your life's in
It's with the
danger.
stunt, unfortunately.
It's with the stunt. Okay. You start to pull out, a bullet hits one of the tires on the right hand side.
Yeah, you can ride still. You're fine.
Yeah, you can try and drive
Drive on the rim, man.
So
I'm driving on
Rim
the
job.
rim. Yes.
that's fine. So
Ah.
second row, and I need to know if your row is with or without the stunt.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the number with the stunt.
That's fine.
With the stunt, it's a 3.
Okay, you're good. So you pull out into traffic. Cab's kind of on one side and it's making this really great grinding sound as sparks fly up off the road on the one side. Just to be
Mhm.
clear, the wheel they hit was the back the back passenger side wheel with a bullet. Okay, so you now pull out and you're
Mhm.
accelerating at high speed. In front of you, you see what you immediately recognize as the SUV that Pete, Skuld, and Timothy are in. Okay?
Mhm.
And they are trying to maneuver their way out of this chaotic mess that has now been created by this gunfire that has erupted at the airport. Behind you, you have 2 gunmen that are going to continue to try and take shots at the back of your vehicle. Okay? In front of you, you have Pete that is veering out in front of you into traffic. Okay?
Mhm.
And to add an extra element, you have the guy that took a shot at Heinrich that is looking around trying to figure out what's going on as well. And you have crowds of people that are now running panicked because no one wants to stop and see who opened fire. They just want to get the hell to safety. That is what you're all dealing with right now, to be very clear. So, Maya, here's what I need you to do. We're going to continue with you for a moment, okay?
Okay. Yep.
You are going to give me a careful row and 2 quick rows. Okay? I
Okay.
want
Okay. For roll
I
and
want
quick.
I want you to do the careful row first,
Okay.
and then depending on what happens with the careful row, I want you to give me the 2 quick rows. So let's start with careful.
Okay. So I do have a question though.
Yeah.
as I'm driving towards the SUV with Pete and everyone else in it, are they in a position that's blocking me, or am I able to maneuver around it?
Right now, they're blocking you. This is
They're
all
blocking me.
This is all happening in real time. So Pete is just
Yeah.
Pete is basically just turned a cab into a hero sandwich. He's backing up at this point to try and reposition himself to get around that cab and get on the road. Okay, so at this point, you run the risk based on the speed that you're accelerating at of clipping the SUV.
Oh,
That's what your careful row is for.
Oh, just
okay.
ram him from behind, knock him out, so that you give him that push to get him driving, get him through
Yeah,
that hero sandwich.
that's great. But
Well, we'll see.
think about the potential damage it's going to do to her cab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so my careful. It
your
is,
target number, so you know, is free.
and I got 3. Yay.
Perfect. Okay. So give me your 2 quick rolls now because you still have to evade the gunfire that's coming at you from behind.
Okay, so I'll give you my quick rolls, and these will include the stunt.
As far as I'm concerned, right now you feel like your life is in jeopardy. You can include that stunt with your rolls until I tell you you can't.
Okay. All right, so let's see. My quick is 1, 2, 3, 5. I got 5
Okay?
for the
So
first roll.
then Landry needs to hire better people.
Yeah, there's no match to me, man. I know. Okay, and
We lost a good one.
okay, hold
Nice.
on. Wait. Okay, and my second roll is a 2.
That's with your stunt?
Yes.
Okay. The the gunmen are firing at you from behind. They've already taken out the back passenger side tire. This time they take out the back driver's tire.
Okay, so I'm dragging my rear end.
So the cab does this. Thump. So now you are quite literally dragging your rear end, which is going to create drag on this vehicle. We are going to say from this point on, while you are in this vehicle, any rows that correspond to this vehicle will include a -1. Okay?
Oh,
Yep, you're dragging the back bumper basically now. There is drag on this vehicle.
right.
So any rows that we make from this point on that include this vehicle will include a -1 to your row while you're using this vehicle. Okay, Pete, you're in your vehicle. You've turned the cab in front of you into a would-be hero sandwich. You are in the process of backing up to get around this thing and get on the road. You see a cab coming up from behind you, and you see 2 gunmen taking shots at the back of that cab. It is a safe assumption that, and you're not sure which one it is, but you're kind of thinking it must be Maya is in that cab. Now, I'm going to ask you to give me a quick roll, Pete.
Okay. A 3.
Perfect. You throw this vehicle into reverse. You make your way around the vehicle that you've now hero sandwiched, and you are good to accelerate. Okay. One thing to bear in mind with all the gunfire that has just taken place at this airport, there is chaos, a lot of chaos. So would-be travelers, both coming and going, are now running in every direction possible, trying to take shelter from what they view as a threat to their personal safety. So as you accelerate, and this will include you as well, Maya, you will be giving me careful rolls periodically to avoid taking out pedestrians.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's chaos. So Heinrich, the
Mhm.
cab that you were in was hero sandwiched by Pete. You've now ascended it back out onto the sidewalk and you're making a run for another vehicle, or at the very least to try and get lost in the crowd of chaos with your suitcase. Tell me where you're headed from here. Where are you headed? Are you going to try and find another vehicle, or are you going to try and get lost in
I
the
told
crowd?
you already. Like, I mean, I backed out so I can like run forward to get another vehicle.
Okay, fair enough. So we're going to say the next vehicle is right in front of you. I'm going to ask you to give
The one
me...
with the bumped up rear bumper. Sure, why not? Dive in him.
Or you can make a run for the vehicle in front of him. It's up to you.
You know what? First one's first. Get in this one.
Fine. Give me
Back
one.
seat.
Give me one quick roll.
+1. Total 2.
Okay. You dive into the back seat. You scream at the driver, "Move your ass." You didn't have to ask him twice. He's ready to go. So
Uh-huh.
he accelerates. Okay. So, in the order of things, because technically Heinrich is in front of all of you right now, okay? It's Heinrich, followed by Pete, followed by Maya, bringing up the rear as you all try to exit this terminal. Okay. Heinrich, the cab driver is accelerating at high speed because he got a family he want to get home to tonight. There is a lot of chaos going on with people running every which direction. You've given the cab driver the directions to go to where?
Head to the house. Like, start in the direction of the house.
Okay.
And the next thing is open that briefcase. See if there's actually something in there, or if this is just a MacGuffin,
Okay.
or if it's
Fair enough. So let's start with the directions you gave him. You gave him the directions. He's accelerating at high speed. I need you to give me a careful row on behalf of the driver to see if he takes out any pedestrians in his, escape.
Okay, and that would be +1.
For a total of?
2.
Okay. So he accelerates, and as he's accelerating, this business-looking individual goes running in front of the cab, trying to evade what he perceives as a threat to his life. The cab driver does not miss him. He hits this guy at full speed and sends him spiraling across the hood of the cab. Give me another quick roll, please. You're rolling on behalf of the driver.
1.
Okay. This driver panics, slams on the
Sorry,
brakes.
was that quick or was that
Quick.
quick? Quick is 2, so it'd be 2.
Okay. This driver panics, slams on the brakes, and screams, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Okay. We're going to come back to that. Pete, you're accelerating. Okay.
Yeah.
There's about 20 feet between you and the cab in front of you. The cab in front of you suddenly slams on its brakes. Give me a quick row to evade rear-ending it. Your target number is 3.
3.
Perfect. You avoid rear-ending it. You basically, because of how narrow this road is, you have to slam on your brakes to avoid rear-ending it. Okay? So, you slam on your brakes. What are you going to do from this point?
Get out of here.
Okay? How? That's what I'm going to ask you. How? Because the only way out of here is blocked by the car in front of you, where something seems to have just happened.
There's no way of getting around?
Well, there's cars behind you. You can drive up onto the medium between the two roads and try and go the other way.
Oh, I will then. We're in an
Okay.
SUV, and I'll do
Perfect.
whatever.
You'll do whatever you have to do. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I'm going to say that you aren't going to have any problem jumping this medium, but in the process, I want you to give me a quick row to avoid taking out any pedestrians as you're doing it. Your target number is 3.
4.
Perfect. You avoid it. You skip over this medium and you start to accelerate at high speed. Maya. The SUV that Pete, Skuld, and Timothy are in front of you slammed on its brakes suddenly. Give me a quick whirl to avoid rear-ending the SUV, please. Your target number for this is a 3.
Okay, quick roll. Oh, nice. 3, 4,
Okay, and is
4.
that including your -1 in this vehicle?
No, it would be 3 then.
Perfect,
I
fine.
forgot about the -1.
You avoid clipping the SUV. You suddenly see Pete throw this thing into reverse, and he jumps the medium off to his left-hand side and proceeds to accelerate at high speed. What are you doing?
Well, I'm in a normal vehicle with a rear end that's slumped to the ground,
Yep,
so I don't think I could.
Low riding.
and you
So
and you've
when I,
got it. Sorry, and you've
I'm
got
sorry, I've got what?
You've also got a cab about 30 feet in front of you that you can now see why Pete jumped the medium, because that cab suddenly slammed on its brakes.
Oh, I have another cab that's not occupied. Or is it occupied?
You don't know. All you know is in front of you, this cab suddenly stopped.
Okay. So he stopped, and he said it's about 30 feet.
Yep.
So I'm going to drive over to where that cab is. Is there anything blocking that cab itself?
The cab is blocking the road.
No, the cab that just slammed on its brake.
You can't tell at this point. All you know is that it suddenly slammed on its brakes.
I'm gonna drive up to it and see if I can take it in place of the low riding one that I'm in now.
Fair enough. So, you need to give me 2 careful rolls to avoid hitting any pedestrians while you accelerate towards this cap, and you have to take your -1 into account. Start
Again,
with
my
the
target
first
number
one.
you.
Target number is 3.
Okay. So before I lost audio, I was saying that I'm thinking of ditching the vehicle that's dragging me back, you know, and run my
Sure.
is it and use my quick plus my stunt. That's 3 to begin with.
Yeah, that's fine. So, you are more than welcome to ditch the vehicle. So, let me know if that's what you intend to
Okay,
do.
yes, because it's dragging me down.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I keep
So,
getting a -1.
So you ditch the vehicle. So you slam on the brakes and you've decided you're getting out of this vehicle. So this car that is blocking your way is about 30 feet in front of you. You still have 2 gunmen behind you, and you have the other gunman that initially took a shot at Heinrich about 15 feet in front of you, between you
Oh,
and the cab directly in front of you. So all I need to know is if you are ditching the vehicle, what direction are you making a run in? Are you headed, say, towards the left where their airport parking lot is? Or are you going to try and make a run towards the right and try and dip back into the airport terminal? That's all I need to know.
Okay, and sorry, you said that other gunman between me and that other uh, cab, he's on the drive in the parking lot.
So he is on the sidewalk in the pedestrian pickup area that you are trying to escape from. So he's about 15 or 20 feet in front of you, and then the two gunmen that initially took a shot at you are about 15 to 20 feet behind you right now.
I'm going to run towards the parking lot where there is another vehicle that I can hop into
Okay.
and drive away
Okay, this
and
should
use
be
my
interesting.
quick and my stunt stuff.
Okay, that's fine. So here's how
Uh,
this. Here's
yes,
how.
and I don't.
Here,
Sorry.
it's okay. Here's how this goes down. So
Wake up,
you
Heinrich.
you kick open the driver's side door to this cab. You decide
Mm-hmm.
that your best option is to make a run for it towards the parking lot. So the parking lot is about 20 feet that way from where you're stopped. I am going to ask you to give me 2 quick rows, one for every 10 feet as you make a run for that parking lot. These quick
Okay.
row these quick rows are to avoid the gunfire from the two individuals that were taking shots at you from behind while you try and go hide in that parking lot, and include your stunt.
Yeah, oh, I'm including my stunt. Okay, let's see. Oh, my stunt. Okay, my quick. So, hold on. Quick one. So that's a 3. I'm a 3.
Okay, that's fine. That's your first quick row. You avoided being shot as bullets went whizzing by you. Give me your second quick row.
My second quick roll. Interesting. It's still at 3.
Okay, so the bullets definitely are whizzing by you, but you've avoided them as you run and hide in the parking lot, duck down, crawling between cars while you try and find an exit strategy. Okay, Pete, you have jumped the curb into the second, or you've jumped the medium onto the next roadway. Okay, you are accelerating to get out of this structure where all this gunfire has broke out. Give me a quick roll, please.
Ooh, a 7.
Perfect. You're absolutely gonna see this, and this is like sixth sense for you. You're speeding forward, and something clicks in your head that you should look over your shoulder. So you do, just in time to see Maya make a run for the parking lot that is just about 10 feet off of your left hand side. She's making a run into that parking lot, which is full of parked vehicles right now. Okay? From the back seat, you hear Skuld say, "This is ridiculous. Something has to be done about this. We need to get out of here. Your companions cannot be allowed to be taken. Stop the vehicle." pick them up.
So that's what I'll do. I'll actually veer off to get Maya.
So, Pete, as you're veering off into this parking lot, I need you to give me 2 rows, one for about every 7.5 feet. You're rowing to avoid clipping any potential pedestrians. What was the first row?
I blew a fate point, re-rolled, and got, it was a 3 or 4 pass. I rolled a second one, which was minus. It's a careful, right?
Yes, the careful.
Yeah. Which is a 1, but I'm going to blow another fate point and re-roll that. Oh, fuck. A -1.
Okay, so how many fate points do you have right now?
3 left because I've blown 2.
Okay, so did you intend to blow a third one and re-roll that? Or are we accepting this row?
No, I will. Another fate. A 2.
Okay. What do you want to do here?
I can blow another one till I pass. A 4.
Okay, so you're down to 1 fate point, correct?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. So you avoid hitting any pedestrians as you swerve into this parking lot in your search for Maya. Okay? Heinrich, you're in the back of this cab, and this cab driver has just slammed on the brakes because he took out some business type looking individual, and it's just chaos at this point. It's gunfire, it's a panicked cab driver, and you had intended to just open this metallic briefcase to confirm that you weren't carrying around a dud. How do you want to proceed here?
Well, what kind of locks or whatever are on it?
So the briefcase itself appears to have a combination lock on it.
That's it.
That's it. There's a combo lock on it. So, you know, the typical combo locks,
Yep.
3 on each side. So that is what appears to be securing the outside of the briefcase. So
Okay.
at this point, you have the driver that's now panicked in the front seat. There is still whoever took a shot at you somewhere behind you. Okay? And then to make this a little more interesting, I'd like you to give me a, let's call it a quick row.
For
Pardon me?
2.
Okay. Do you want to accept it or blow the
Actually,
face
sorry,
off?
3. It's a 3.
Perfect. Perfect. So, Heinrich, you look to your left, okay, just in time to see what appears to be Maya running across the street into the parking lot about 10 to 20 feet away from you, okay?
Is she zigzagging a bit just to make it a challenge?
Yes, okay. As you turn back around to address what just happened with the driver, you see Pete's SUV make a sharp turn off of the road into that parking lot. You are aware that you still have the initial gunman that took a shot at you somewhere behind you, okay? And when you look down at the briefcase that you intended to open, the only thing securing it at this time is those combination locks, the thumb locks, on the opposite sides of the briefcase. So at this point, the driver in front of you is losing his shit. Okay? How do you want to address this from here? What's your next play?
Get that case open.
Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to ask you to give me a clever roll to begin with. What's your clever, by the way?
3.
Perfect. Give me a clever roll.
+0.
Okay. First attempt to open the briefcase fails. Give me a quick roll, please.
Quick +1, 3.
Okay. Perfect. Give me another clever roll, please.
1.
Okay, second attempt to open this briefcase fails because you're guessing at the combo. Okay. Give me another quick roll, please.
0.
0. Okay.
Sorry, correction. Quick, my quick is, 0.
Okay. The back window, the back passenger side window of the cab that you're in just shattered as a bullet went through it.
Whatever.
It didn't hit you, but someone's taking a shot at the cab you're in now. Okay,
That's fine.
are you going to continue to try and
Yes.
open this? Okay, give me another clever roll.
You know what? I'm going to...
Okay, so what's that give you? Sorry.
5.
Okay, click. You open it.
Okay.
You open the lid. Inside the box, or inside the briefcase, it's a foam insert, and then in the center is an ornate looking wooden box. There is nothing securing this box. Give me another quick roll, please.
6.
Okay. You realize as you are staring at this box that there are 3 individuals approaching the cab from behind you. Okay? There's the initial individual that took a shot at you, and then there's 2 other armed individuals coming up on the other side of the cab. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Pete, give me a clever row, please.
Okay.
There are 6 rows of parked cars in this parking lot.
Okay. A 1.
Okay?
A clever or quick? Sorry.
Clever.
Oh, clever. 0.
Okay? You do not find Maya hidden in the first row. Give me your next clever row, please.
3.
Okay. As you turn down the second row of cars, you see Maya scooting between cars, trying to find an unlocked vehicle that she hopes to get into.
Okay, how close can I get to her?
Oh, shit, you can drive right up on her. She's scooting between rows of parked cars. She keeps grabbing car doors, trying to jiggle one, hoping it'll be left
I'm gonna get as
unlocked.
close as I can and yell at her. Get in the.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell at her. Get in the car.
Perfect. So Maya, you're running around this parking lot. You're trying to access a vehicle. Okay. Give me a quick row, please. And you can include your stunt in this quick row.
Okay. 3,
Perfect.
including the stunt.
So you've tried a few cars by this point. You're trying to keep your head down low. You're not 100% sure where the people who were shooting at you are. Okay.
Yeah, they're aggroing on me.
Yep. She doesn't know this. Anyways, in the meantime, as you're jiggling on cars, you hear a car come speeding up on you, and then you hear Pete screaming, "Get in, get in, get in."
Ah, yes, I will.
Okay, so you make a run for the SUV. You get in the SUV. Pete, as Maya gets in the SUV, you hear Skuld from the back seat say, "This isn't playing out the way it needs to. You need to go back. You need to get the doctor. I need my medallion. You need to do this now."
Okay, now what? I'm just trying to think what Pete would do right now because he knows the doctor can take care of himself.
Mhm.
and would meet us at the place. If we stay around here, like I want to, is there a way I can do kind of like an instinct roll, like a fight or flight sort of thing?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question.
Because I'm not going to go on. At the end of the day, I trust the doctor more than Maya here.
I'm going to give you the ability to do that, okay? So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to roll your clever.
Okay. Ooh, minus 2. Now, can I spend my last fate point on that?
Yes.
0. Okay. Here we go. A 1.
Okay. I'm going to give this to you. You're sitting there for a split second as this would-be god sitting in the back seat is screaming at you that her power base is linked to this amulet, okay? And you're questioning whether or not you should follow her advice and go back and get Heinrich. Yep. Or whether you should trust that he's capable of taking care of himself. Instinctively, you think to yourself, this is the same guy that used Maya as a human shield and gave you a drug that made you feel pretty good for a while, but left you shitting up against the side of a vehicle when the drug wore off. Your question that you will have to answer is based on what you've just remembered about his ethics. Do you trust him with that much power in the palm of his hand?
Okay, ethics, no, but do I trust him? Yes.
Okay.
My question is ethics, but do I trust him? Yes.
So are you going to heed her advice and go back for him, or are you going to make a move?
So if I trust him, we will take off.
Yeah, if you trust him, you're going to try and make a move for the mansion. If you heed her advice, then you're going to swing back around and try and pick him up.
No, I am going to go on my gut instinct, and that I trust him, and we're going to the mansion.
Okay, perfect. So you're going to accelerate forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Maya.
Yes.
I want to be very clear about where you're positioned in this SUV. Okay?
Okay.
You are in the front driver's seat with Pete. So he's driving, you're in the passenger seat. Okay?
Oh, front passenger seat. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Timothy.
Okay, that's fine.
Brother Timothy and Skuld are sitting in the back. I want to be very clear about this. Pete has now made the decision that he is going to trust in Heinrich's moral compass not to use the powers that he's holding in the palm of his hand, and he's going to make a move back to Heinrich's mansion. The car has now started to accelerate, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like giving Gandalf the One Ring? And he's like, no.
Well, I don't know. Okay. So, Pete, you're accelerating, looking for an exit to this parking lot.
Yeah.
I need you and Maya both to give me a quick row.
Okay.
Okay.
A 5.
3.
Okay. Pete, you suddenly feel a sharp stabbing pain in your back.
Oh.
Followed by something warm.
What?
Maya.
Are you talking?
Maya didn't catch this either. No one questioned what Timothy and Skuld had on them. In this particular case, Timothy pulled out a knife and drove it directly into Pete's back through the seat. Pete, give me a quick roll, please.
1.
Yep. So, this car spirals out of control. All of a sudden, Maya, give me a quick roll.
Oh, jeez.
That's good. Stab the driver.
4.
Okay. Maya, you have the opportunity to grab the wheel and try and take control of the vehicle, but you're doing this from the passenger's seat. Okay?
Right. Okay, yes. We're
give
all
me-
saved.
Give me another quick roll.
Or shoot Timothy.
I don't have a gun. No, wait, I do have a gun.
Yeah, but you
The
can
little...
shoot.
You do not want to discharge a firearm in an enclosed space, okay?
Okay,
Believe
no,
me.
Totally
okay,
up
I
to you.
believe you.
Totally
No,
up to you.
okay. Okay, I'm rolling for quick. Okay. Still 3. What are you laughing at? Never
Because
mind.
I could see this coming a mile away.
Okay. You spin the wheel, but you don't gain control of the car. The car accelerates forward and slams into a brick wall. I need you guys to give me a careful roll, please.
Careful roll.
I give you mine. It was a 3.
Careful roll. What's my careful? 1.
Okay. Greg, how fast was Pete driving this vehicle?
It depends.
He was accelerating, so at what speed do you think he would have been driving at?
50,
50. Okay.
50, 60 if we're just leaving like the parking lot
Yeah,
out to the main road.
We'll say 60. So
Yeah.
you hit this brick wall at 60 miles per hour. Maya.
Ooh.
Well, I was thinking kilometers, not that at all.
Wow, that's fine. Maya.
It's like 100
Yes.
kilometers an hour. No,
The airbag just deployed right in your face.
Oh,
you'd
jeez.
be dead.
Gee, thank you.
Yep. Maya's dead.
Really? Okay.
You can spend. Yep. So Maya, you can spend a fate point if you wish to re-roll this. Okay.
I will.
But
You know, you got a handful of them. It's not like you're gonna roll
yeah.
snake eyes roll.
So you can.
So yeah, I can spend 1.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, no, hold on. Oh, jeez.
What's the roll?
Okay, what's my careful? -1.
Okay, so Maya's still dead.
Okay, can I spend 1 more fate point?
Yes, go ahead.
Spend as many as you want.
Yes, I've got 3 now.
Maya's still dead.
Okay, well, hold on. Can I add my stunt to that roll or no?
Sure. Fine.
Okay, then that gives me 5.
Fine. So you roll a 5. It does not prevent the fact that you hit that brick wall. Okay? So you you slam into the brick wall. The airbag malfunctions. It does not deploy, which is not necessarily a saving grace because now you lurch forward and smash your head directly off the dashboard. So Maya, you're alive, but you've smashed your head off the dashboard. Okay.
Yes.
As the car hits the wall, the passenger side door next to you goes flying open. Okay. Pete has been stabbed in the back. Pete,
Okay.
I need you to give me a careful roll, please.
Pete? Hello?
Shit, sorry about that. Can you repeat that again? I just have
Yeah, absolutely. So, Maya has survived, but she slammed her head off the dashboard. The front passenger side door next to her, when you hit the wall, flung open. Okay. You have now been stabbed in the back by someone. You don't know who. Okay.
I know.
I need you to give me a careful roll, please.
Yeah. A 5.
Okay. So you can try to reach around to the back of the seat to try and pull the dagger out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you want to do that, okay?
Yeah.
So you pull the dagger out, okay? As you pull it out, give me another quick roll, please, as the dagger exits your body.
You'd think that Timmy and, like, you know, go to Skuld would have, like, you know, flown through the front windshield if they weren't wearing their seatbelts.
2.
Okay. The dagger gets yanked out of your back by you, but as it comes out, you lose control of it and the dagger falls somewhere on the back seat as you slump forward. Maya,
Yes.
as you are leaning against the dashboard, you're looking out the driver or the passenger side door of the vehicle. You're having a hard time regaining your wits and you don't feel like you can move. You see the following. You see Brother Timothy running across the parking lot. And then you see Skuld following him. Except she's walking like she doesn't have a care in the world. Okay.
Okay.
Heinrich, you're sitting in the cab. You know that you have 3 individuals flanking the cab on both sides. You have now opened the suitcase. There is a wooden ornate box in front of you in the suitcase. What is your next move?
Open the box! See if that thing is in there.
Okay, you open the box.
Better be in there after all of this.
The medallion is in fact in there. What you are greeted by is what appears to be a gold necklace resembling a tree of life.
Put it on.
Okay, you pick it up with your hand. It glimmers for a minute. You put it on, and nothing happens.
That's okay.
Now, you now have 3 individuals flanking the cab.
Close the boxes.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, of course, here's the thing. Is the driver dead?
No, the driver, amidst all of what you were doing after realizing that he thinks he just killed someone, and on top of that, people are shooting at him, the driver moved from panic to, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So by the time you looked up after taking this necklace out, the driver was gone.
Oh, so he abandoned the vehicle as opposed to just kept driving.
Oh, he took off running. So,
Time to get into the front and go.
Perfect. So, how are you getting into the front? Are you climbing over the seat or getting out and jumping in front?
Climbing over the seat.
Okay. Give me a quick row.
Two.
Perfect. You're halfway over the seat. You look up, and standing in front of you on the external or outside the cab, you see Joseph Uzma standing there. And he looks at you and he goes, Doctor, I wouldn't even try it.
Why not? Hit the gas pedal.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, you make it the rest of the way into the seat, and you go to hit the gas pedal. Give me a quick roll, please.
2.
And you take 1 to the shoulder.
Okay.
So you've now been shot.
Okay.
The car starts to accelerate forward. Give me another quick roll, please.
5.
Okay. You take another bullet to the other shoulder. Give me a careful roll, please.
Careful would be 1.
Okay. The car that you are in, that you've now been shot in both shoulders, loses control and mounts the medium to the left of you and just sort of stalls there. In front of you, you see Brother Timothy running towards you from the parking lot, and you see Skuld casually walking behind him. Give me a quick roll, please.
3.
Okay. You look directly across the driver's side of the van or of the cab, and you see the SUV that Pete and Maya were in with Skuld and Timothy has slammed into a wall. Now, as you look back towards the center of the cab to see where everyone is, you see Uzma standing in the center. You see the gunman that took a shot at you initially flanking Uzma on one side. You see Skuld walk up next to him on the other side. And then Brother Timothy comes along the driver's side of the cab and attempts to reach in to yank the necklace off your neck. Now, you've been shot in both shoulders.
My question is, okay, I would have hidden that thing down my shirt so no one would see it.
That's fine. You put it on your body. One way or the other, they are going to search you for it. So,
Sure, but you'd think that they look for the case first,
that's fine.
which is right behind me.
That's fine. So, I'll give you that. So Timothy looks in the back of the cab. You've now got...
You'd think he'd grab the case and pull it out and walk over, because he's not going to open it in there.
You left the case open.
No, I told you I closed the
No, he
case.
closed it.
Okay.
He closed it.
Both cases, and then
Okay. No worries. So he yanks the case out. He walks back around, and he hands it to Skuld. Skuld opens the case.
How? She doesn't know the combo.
We'll get there. She opens the
Magic.
case. She opens the case. She reaches in. She pulls out the box. She looks at the box. She turns it around, shows the empty box to Uzma. And then Uzma lifts up his hand and he does this in your direction. Now, at this point,
Think really, really painful thoughts at Uzma.
think really, really painful thoughts at Uzma?
Yeah.
No worries. Tell you what, give me a forceful roll.
Forceful.
Yep.
5.
Okay.
Nice.
You see Uzma do this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So he puts his hand up against his head like something's bothering him. At that point, Skuld looks at him, looks at Timothy, turns around, looks at the three gunmen next to Uzma. She lifts up her hand and she points them in your direction. So, Maya and Pete pay very close attention to what's about to happen. Pete, you're bleeding out in this vehicle. Okay? Maya is slumped against the dashboard where she's basically cracked her head open. But you will both bear witness to what's happening over towards the cab that both Timothy and Skuld have walked towards. You have now seen Skuld appear to be speaking with Uzma. You see Uzma do this like something's bothering him. Skuld looks at the gunmen around Uzma and waves them towards the cab. Heinrich, give me a quick roll, please.
2.
Okay. You take one to the chest from one of the gunmen.
How?
What do you mean how? They shoot at you. That's how.
Yes, but they're behind the vehicle.
No, I already told you. They came up alongside.
Oh, okay. All right. Go on. Sorry.
So you take one to the chest from one of the gunmen.
Okay.
It doesn't instinctively kill you, but it incapacitates you.
Well, duh. Take one to the chest. You're gonna bleed out if you hit the heart.
Timothy walks over at the direction of Skuld. He reaches in through the driver's door and he starts doing this to you until he feels what he's looking for.
Okay. Now, you know what? Seriously?
Yeah?
Think a spike through Timmy's brain. Like, seriously. Just think real hard on the spike through his brain.
Sure, no worries. Give me the forceful roll.
2.
Nope. He reaches up.
Do it again.
Fine. Do it again. Whatever.
I have nothing to lose, right? My character's about to die.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all right. So
it's all good. So while you're thinking these mean, nasty thoughts toward
no. Actually, I got a better one. Think myself not there. Think myself at the old house.
Sure. You think it, nothing happens. So,
think myself being moved to the old house. Through the roots of the tree, which touch everything.
Okay. You think that really, really hard. And for an instant, you feel like you're moving. But then you realize it's basically Timothy grabbing you and pulling you forward enough that he can grab the necklace and tear it off your neck.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the last thing you hear. You see Timothy walk over to Skuld and put the necklace in her hand. She looks at Uzma and goes, that was fun. But don't you think killing Viraldi was taking it just a little too far? Uzma looks at her and goes, I didn't kill them. It's all part of the game. They're here. Hold on. From one corner, almost out of nowhere, you see Clint Dufresne come walking almost out of the shadows. And he looks at Uzma and he looks at Skuld and he goes, you know what? That was pretty good. The last time we played this game, I killed the archaeologist. Befriending her and using her to your cause was probably a good way to go. Have you had enough? They look at each other, they go, nah. Best 3 out of 5? Why not? We have all the time in their world. Skuld takes the medallion, she clenches it in her fist, snaps her finger. The last thing any of you remember is darkness. Until, Pete, you gradually begin to open your eyes. You feel like you have the weight of the world pressing you to the ground. As you gradually push yourself to your feet and become conscious of your surroundings, you realize that you're in a warehouse and around you are bodies, and you have no recollection of how you got there or who these people are around you.
So we're back where we started.
That, ladies and
The never-ending story.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is as fate
I think that's the end.
would have it. And that is the end of As Fate Would Have It, presented to you by CanGeek Games and Collectibles. I hope if you've sat through these 11 episodes that you've had as much fun watching it as we have running it. Thanks again to Anthony from TokenResistance.com, my lovely wife Chris, and our good friend Greg for joining us on this adventure. And until then, until next time, ciao for now.